Hello everybody, welcome to my cooking show. Today is my guest. I have Pam. She's one of my favorite people. I say that a lot, but then I say I really mean it. Yeah, you do. So you've watched my shows, right? You're like, you say that everybody's
one of my favorite people.
No, you really are though.
No, you are too.
So we met, oh thanks. No, I'm really saying that. You're like, I am.
I'm serious.
So we met women in business, right? You're a writer and an artist.
Yes.
I love your art so much. I'm gonna trade you, can I trade you like a year's supply of macaroons for a piece of your art?
Yep.
Is that cool?
Absolutely.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So how long have you really started eating healthy about 2 years ago? I mean, you were eating healthy already.
Yeah, I stopped eating sugar about 5.5 years ago.
Awesome.
And started eating super healthy about a year. But yeah, probably about 2 years ago.
And you said it's just changed your life.
Yeah.
Like you feel good and amazing,
I feel
right?
really good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So we're making some what I call winter veggie soup.
Yum.
For our recipe today, because the whole winter I just eat soup. Like I live on soup. I'll make a giant pot and I eat it every day all week.
You've brought me your soup before in a mason jar.
Oh, I did. That's right.
Yeah.
After you had your baby.
Yes.
Because I was your doula too.
Yes.
That's so awesome. And
It
she's
was
almost
fantastic.
5.
I know.
I can't believe that. Oh my goodness.
There's
They
no
grow
crying
up
when
so
cooking.
fast. What? There's no what?
There's no crying when cooking unless you're chopping onions, right?
Oh yeah, so yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
We're not mommies grieving over our grown-up children. Okay, so let's get started.
Okay.
You're good chopping, right?
Yes,
So I just
good
put
chop.
tons of veggies in here, and guess what? Just a little side note, here, you can start chopping these guys. So I don't actually use vegetable broth or chicken broth or anything when I make my soups.
don't?
No, and people are always like, well, don't you have to do that? How do you even make soup without using broth? Here's how, right? Okay, so while you're chopping that, I'm gonna show you.
How thick should I be chopping these?
However you want.
Okay.
This is like an easy soup, you know?
All right.
Make it easy. So the recipe actually is, it's like 2 cups of any vegetable you want, or 4 cups or something like that. We'll put it online, so don't worry. But, so you just put whatever veggies you want. I call this sometimes my empty my refrigerator soup, because I go in my refrigerator and find all those vegetables I haven't used.
So it could
and
be
then I pop them on.
anything.
Totally, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got chili powder. Smell that. Smells good.
Ooh, yum.
Right?
Yum.
So we got chili powder. We have some dill. Oh man, that smells good.
Oh, that does.
Right?
Yeah.
Some dill, some thyme, some oregano,
Are you basing
some rosemary.
Sorry, are you basing your herbs on the kinds of vegetables that you put in, or is this what you put in every single
I
time?
probably should. This is literally what I do. For everybody at home, you'll have an actual recipe. This is seriously what I do. I get all my spices on the counter and I just dump. Like I just like dump stuff in. And I dump a lot. Like I think that people get really afraid. We have some soup over here cooking and it's like
Nice.
really, can you smell that?
Yes.
So I literally just dump tons of stuff in my soup. Like I said, I make these big pots, and I mean, I don't put like cardamom or cinnamon in my soup,
Right.
for example, right? So I try to use, savory herbs, but like
There goes
coriander.
carrot.
Awesome.
Runaway carrot.
And lots of pepper. I'm a fan of pepper. I always put red pepper in there too. Heat gives so much flavor to things. It's
makes it
awesome,
pop, doesn't
right?
it?
Yeah, and then we have about 2,000 pounds of garlic right here, which if you weren't eating this, I'd put the whole thing in.
You know what? I would love the whole thing.
Really?
Because I love garlic. I put garlic
It's
in
like 5 cloves. I know, right? Then we have some chopped potatoes here.
tiny little red potatoes.
Yeah. Yes, I love red potatoes in soup better. I feel like they're kind of a little more waxy. Then some onions that were already cut offset, because when I cut onions, I can't open my eyes for like 4 minutes. It's
I
crazy.
can't either.
It's crazy.
So is that like
So
a
I thought
half
that
a
would
cup
be
of
bad.
onions?
Oh, I don't know. We're just throwing stuff in here.
Okay, okay.
The real
It's
recipe
very-
will be for a bigger pot.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then we have some salt. Oh, and here's the other thing. People are always so afraid of how much salt you have to put in soup that doesn't have any salt, that you just start with a water base.
Yeah.
You have to put a lot in. Like if
like-
you're starting
like
with a broth, you have to put, there's a lot of salt
But
in
you're
broth.
not doing broth, so you have to put a little bit more salt in.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I use good salt. I use real salt.
And so this is real salt right here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
This is what I use too.
Awesome.
Yum.
And then I have canned tomatoes. Now people kind of freak out about me using canned stuff, but in the winter time, when the tomatoes, I call them sick. They're sick when they're at the store in the winter.
Yeah.
So these actually, when
Are still
they're
healthy.
canned, like they're straight off the vine. So I just try to buy them from good cans and organic, So I'm gonna
Yum.
put some of those in there. Now you can't make this soup without tomatoes because it gives us this tang that you just need.
Nice.
You need. Okay, you see this?
Yes, I do.
how funny this is?
I can't believe you opened that can with a knife.
So this is my real commercial kitchen, right?
Yeah.
That where we make everything, but we don't ever open anything with cans. Like we never open cans because we
So
don't
you
use
don't
anything in
have
cans.
yeah.
So we don't have a can opener. So I stabbed it open with a knife. I just thought that was funny.
It's so
Right?
primitive looking.
I know, but we're good at that, right? So I just put a whole can of beans in.
So you don't strain it. You don't.
No, because I like the liquid in there, and I buy beans without sugar in them, so it's
Yeah.
just like liquid and like a little salt maybe.
Yeah.
I'm
And
just
be
gonna
careful.
not chop
Don't
my
slice
finger
yourself.
off. There we go. Okay, and then I have millet right here. Do you want to put the millet in?
Yeah.
Do you know what millet is?
Yeah. It's
This, like,
isn't
awesome.
it's a grain.
Yeah.
Or is it a seed?
It's a grain.
The whole thing?
Well, the reason people think go ahead and put the whole thing.
Okay.
The reason people think it's a seed is because we put it in bird food. So
Oh.
yeah,
It's bird food.
yeah.
This is bird food soup.
But so there are a lot of seeds that people consider that think are grains, like buckwheat, for example,
Oh.
is a seed, but people think it's a grain.
Really?
But it's
Because
not a grain.
it has the word wheat in it.
Yeah. So I cut this in half from the bottom, right? And then I pull it open like this.
Yeah.
And then I just stick my 2 fingers like this, and I just pull out like that. And you don't lose so much when you do that, right?
Oh.
And then
Yeah.
just get those little seeds out. And chop it up. Okay. So you can throw the carrots in there.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So this is literally the recipe. Like you throw everything in and then you leave it to just till the vegetables are tender. There we go. I won't cut this whole thing up.
Really tiny little slices.
Tiny little
chunks,
slices.
tiny little
You can do it however you want. If you want to make big chunky, like
There's no rule.
No, there's not. That's why I love this soup. And you know, I call it sometimes intuitive soup too. Everything I make, I'm like, it's intuitive soup because I never have measurements, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
But literally, just throw stuff in. It'll taste good. And if it doesn't taste good, just put more spices and seasonings and salt.
And salt.
And it'll taste good. The other thing that's really important in the soup, because there are no dairy products, no meat,
Yeah.
and nothing like that, is to put a little olive oil. And it gives it just that heartier flavor.
Yum.
So here's something about olive oil that a lot of people don't know. So a lot of people have recently stopped cooking with olive oil because they're told that it totally oxidizes and gets to this point, you know, where
Yeah.
it's totally bad for you.
I hadn't heard that.
Oh, so it actually doesn't do that until it gets to the smoking point. So unless you're frying in a wok or something,
Yeah.
it's okay to cook with olive oil and it's
Okay.
okay to put it in your soup. We're just boiling this. It doesn't come to smoking point, so
Yeah.
it's okay. Totally fine
And
for you.
smoking point wouldn't happen in a soup anyway, would it?
No.
Yeah.
And
Makes
smoking
sense.
point, even if you're gently sauteing something, wouldn't happen. I mean, you really shouldn't bring most
It would be
things
like
to
if you
smoking
left it
point.
on your
It would be
stove
like an
and walked away.
accident. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we have some already done. We're gonna let you taste.
Yay.
You ready?
Yes, I'm ready.
And this has a little bit of different combinations of veggie tables in it. Veggie tables.
Veggie tables, straight from the table. So I want to look and see. Oh, it's thick. It's different color than I thought it was going to be.
Well, this has a little turmeric in it.
Oh.
I put a little turmeric in this one.
See, it was intuitive, wasn't it?
Yeah, totally.
So you could put
This
turmeric
has,
in it.
you can put whatever you want in. I'll have an actual recipe for people, you know, if you're like, I can't, no, don't make me do it. I can't put
Yeah.
another spice in.
Some people get nervous about intuitive. cooking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So this one
smells
actually
really
has
good.
tons of Italian parsley in it and some green beans. So
That smells so good.
But
And
it's
it
that-
has, what is this? Is this
Italian
like a
parsley.
spinach? Oh, that's Italian parsley.
Yeah, and I chopped a big, huge bunch of it, and it works just fine.
And
Works
does
great.
this have millet in it too?
This has rice,
Wow.
Calrose rice.
Yum.
So don't burn your mouth. Just take a
Okay.
little tiny bit.
I'll do a blow. I'll blow it first.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
So after it's all done, just like I said, you just put it on the stove and just let it
It's thick,
simmer.
too.
Yeah, it's nice. It's such a hearty winter soup. And it will stay good for about a week in your fridge, which I love. And it is amazing at freezing too. So sometimes I'll make a giant pot and then I'll freeze it. Do you like it?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it good?
That's good.
So you can freeze
That's
it.
comfort food right there.
Yeah, it totally is.
So
And it's
how
totally
long
good
do
for
you
you.
simmer it for then?
So I just simmer it for a long time. Oh, here's another thing I should say. So a lot of people freak out because they think that when you cook stuff that all of the nutrients are going away.
Yeah.
Where do you think they're going?
Into the broth.
Right. Oh my gosh, you're so smart. So it's okay.
I'm gonna eat some
I
more
don't
of
know.
this.
There's like this. Yes, please do.
It's
There's this
delicious.
misconception that when you cook food, that the nutrients somehow disappear into the ethos. I don't know.
Yeah, they just
but,
disappear.
But it doesn't. So if you're cooking stuff in oil, eat it with the oil that you cooked it in,
Yeah.
because the nutrients are in there. Or if you're cooking stuff in water, if you're boiling some stuff in water, it only loses about 30% of the nutrients, 10 to 30, depending on how you
Also
cook it.
depends on that. not bad.
So if you're able to eat a cup of broccoli as opposed to a half a cup of raw broccoli,
Yeah.
because cooked things are easier to eat,
Yeah.
then you can eat more and you're not losing that 30%. Does that make sense? You
Yay.
kind of made it up.
All for eating more.
I know, right?
Yeah. This is really good.
Thank
this
you.
is really good, y'all.
You're so nice.
It's so
Pam, thank
good.
you so much for being
Thank
on.
you.
Feel free to just keep eating.
I'm going to.
Thank
so good.
Bye.
Bye.